Today I'm here to talk to you about sharks, more specifically bull sharks. Did you know that only half of a shark's brain will sleep at a time? This is so that the shark will continue to be pushing water through its gills while it's swimming. Ever since I first saw the Jaws movies directed by Steven Spielberg, I've had a strong interest in sharks. So over the past few weeks, I've been doing research and gathering information on bull sharks, and I've learned a lot of cool, interesting facts that I'm going to share with you today. Bull sharks are very special creatures and have unique reproduction and feeding habits. For the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about bull sharks and help you better understand why they are greatly feared yet admired. Bull sharks were actually responsible for the 1919 shark attacks that inspired the Jaws movies. The directors decided to use the great white sharks even knowing that it was bull sharks because the great white sharks already had a reputation for being very aggressive and they were very popular. So they thought that if they used those sharks, they would get more publicity and a lot more people would want to watch it. And this turned out to be true. So let's discuss some general shark facts. How did bull sharks get their names? According to the National Geographic, they got their names because of their short, stocky build to them that they have and their high levels of aggression. Those also relate to bulls that are short and stocky and very aggressive. And they're actually in the top 3 most aggressive sharks behind great whites and tiger sharks. A nickname for them is the pit bull of sharks, and this is because pit bulls are stereotyped as being the most aggressive dog. So how long do they get? The females are actually larger than the males, so keep that in mind. The National Geographic says that they can be between 7 to 11.5 feet long, and they weigh between 200 and 500 pounds. And again, the females will be more towards the 500-pound area, and the males more towards the 200 pounds. And a common question is, does their coloring matter? And Mike Rogers from Sharksider explains that yes, their coloring is very significant, and it allows them to camouflage with their environment. If you are a prey or a predator looking at a shark from above, you would see a dark gray surface, and it would more than likely blend in with the ocean's bottom because it's so dark and you can't really distinguish which is which. And similarly, if you were looking at it from below, you would just see the white underbelly and it would blend in with the way the light hits the water. And because of this, it allows them to hide from prey and predators, which is very beneficial when it comes to hunting and hiding. So now that you know a little bit about sharks, let's talk about what makes them so unique from other sharks. There are a few ways in which bull sharks strongly differ from other breeds. For example, they almost always live and hunt alone because they have that aggressive nature, but sometimes in the wild they are seen hunting in pairs of 2, but again, this is not really common because they don't like other sharks at all. They will sometimes even kill other sharks that come into their territory. And another way to tell them apart from other sharks is they don't really look that much like them because they have smaller eyes. And according to Amelia Meyer from Sharks Info, they have more triangular fins too. And a short rounded snout. And they use their short rounded snout to bump into something before they bite it. And they do that to try to identify what they're going to be biting. But they will pretty much bite into anything whether they identify it or not, and this is because they just feed on what they can find. And they aren't very large compared to other shark breeds. The largest shark breed that we know of today that's in the ocean is the whale shark, which is between 18 and 33 feet long, and one of them alone weighs 41,000 pounds, which is very big for any creature at all. But they are actually not aggressive sharks. And BioExpedition says that not only can bull sharks survive in saltwater, but also in brackish and even freshwater. And brackish water is just like a combination of freshwater and saltwater. It just has a lower salinity. So other sharks don't really survive in it because it just doesn't work out. Knowing some general shark facts and what makes them so unique will help you to understand their strange reproduction and feeding habits. It's not really how the bull shark reproduces that's interesting. It's more what happens after. The babies will leave the mothers immediately. Like, they don't stay for a short period of time to learn to hunt or anything. That is all purely from their inner nature. They just leave the mother. The shark mother will give birth to a full live shark with a full set of teeth, and they don't really lay eggs like other aquatic fish do. They just give birth like mammals do. And the mother sharks, before they give birth, they'll go to the mouth or the bed of a river, and this way the little sharks can just swim about, and they're more likely to survive in these areas because there's less big prey and predators, and it'll take them about 10 years to reach full size before returning to the ocean. They don't just stay in these areas to avoid predators. A research paper titled Bioecology and Movements of Bull Sharks Caught in a Long-Term Long-Line Survey off northeastern Brazil discusses the migratory habits of bull sharks and why they live where they do. And it's simply just because they prefer it, because there's more fish and it's just easier for them to hunt. But unfortunately, there's also more people, and that's why sharks end up accidentally biting into people. But with the shark's bad eyesight and the polluted water, it's kind of understandable that bull sharks might mistake a human foot or leg for its prey. So now that we've discussed some bull shark traits ranging from size to feeding, let's quickly look over what we have learned. It is the reproduction and feeding habits, along with other unique facts, that make these animals so remarkable and different from other creatures that we have seen in the wild. And I understand that some people listening might not find sharks very interesting, but I hope you found at least one thing that I talked about today that caught your attention that you can take away from my speech. And thank you for listening.